Hi, Emerson Eagles. It is Monday, April 13th, and we are on our last social skills lesson in the unit of managing emotions. And today we are going to talk about how to make yourself feel better when you're having some uncomfortable feelings. So take a second, kind of get into the groove of thinking about emotions and what we do in social work group. Think about what I might mean when we're talking about uncomfortable feelings. Uncomfortable feelings can be sadness, disappointment, frustration, stress, feeling overwhelmed, being sad. I don't know if I said that already. Um, if you think about being at school or even while you're home right now and trying to do schoolwork, whenever we have uncomfortable feelings, it prevents us from being able to do the things that we are supposed to do. And sometimes those uncomfortable feelings can make us act out or lash out or do things that get us into trouble or strain our relationships. So we need to know how to get rid of that uncomfortable feeling so that we can move on with our day and make sure that we're getting the things that we need to get done. You guys know already how to recognize what those uncomfortable feelings feel like on the inside. We reviewed that last week as well, with the quick breathing, fast heartbeat, upset stomach. Um, you might have like those butterflies in your stomach if you're starting to get some uncomfortable feelings. And we need to be able to recognize that and then choose a way that we're going to be able to help ourselves. There's a couple different options that you can do when you're feeling uncomfortable. You can talk about it with someone. It's probably easier now when you're at home to address that right away or as soon as you need to. In class, sometimes it can be difficult because you have to wait for the right time, especially if it's not an emergency. But certainly asking to talk to me when we're back at school or talking to a friend at recess or talking to the teacher during a break or a transition or just letting them know, hey, like I'm not feeling that great. Can I talk to you when you're done? Or something like that would be fine. So we've talked about that everybody is different, and sometimes when we have uncomfortable feelings, we're okay with talking to people, and then other times we're not. So we might have to make the choice to work through it on our own. And so the two other options would be kind of getting that out of your mind and replacing it with a positive thought or a distraction. We've talked about those. So if you're having an uncomfortable feeling about the assignment that you're working on, if it's challenging and you're getting frustrated, um, thinking about what you are going to do as soon as you're done with that assignment, or putting your thinking towards the future and something you're looking forward to can be helpful. The next and last option in this lesson is they call it heart breathing. And basically, it is just to have a happy memory that you look back to in times of stress or when you're feeling uncomfortable. So, pulling up a time where you did something with your family or friends, or a field trip, or a vacation, or something you made. It can be anything. Something that when you think about that and you really hold that in your mind, it just relaxes all of those stressful feelings. So the point would be to choose one of those three. Talk about it. Um, have some positive thoughts. Looking forward to what you're going to do. Telling yourself that you can do it. If you remember our lesson about hot and cold thoughts, remember hot thoughts kind of keep us in those uncomfortable and negative emotions, and cool thoughts help us kind of calm down and bring us back to where we need to be. If you think about those, positive thoughts would be the same as cool thoughts. And then that heart breathing or thinking about a happy memory. So making sure you choose one of those, and then the point would be after you've chosen that you're able to move on with whatever the responsibility is or the expectation that you're working on right then. For some ideas about positive thoughts or those cool thoughts are things like, I can keep going. This is hard, but I'm smart and I can get through this. After I get it done, I'll feel better, or any number of those encouraging, positive phrases. We talk often in school, and I'm sure your parents say things to you at home, that we have to do things that we don't like. We don't always get to do our preferred activities all the time. And so, you might find something boring or not that fun, but the idea would be to talk to yourself and that you can do it anyway. That, this might not be your favorite, but you're going to get through it. And when it's done, like how accomplished you're going to feel afterwards. So normally during that segment, we would have a lot of discussion and people giving examples about what are some uncomfortable feelings, why do they have uncomfortable feelings, or when, what are they? Then we would start to talk about, who would you talk to if that was your choice? What would you talk about? How would you get back on track? We would list some positive thoughts. We would kind of review that lesson in more detail about the hot and cold thoughts. And then we would share some positive memories before moving on. The next thing that we would do is we would go over those examples where you guys give me thumbs up, thumbs down about, are these examples meeting the criteria of this lesson? So the first example is a student is sitting at his desk and he keeps thinking about not getting a turn on the computer today. How do you think he feels right now? Take a second. How would you feel? If everybody, or a large number, think about Fun Friday, when there's only a handful or so of people that get to be on the Chromebooks, and you're not one of those people, but that was your first choice, you really wanted that. How would you feel right now? Probably mad, right? Frustrated. Being mad and frustrated is an uncomfortable feeling. And so he thinks to himself, I feel uncomfortable and I am going to use one of those heart breathing, happy memory options to help myself feel better. So he says to himself, I need my happy memory. Do you think that that student was being responsible? I think so. And how do you know that he was being responsible? Because he was acknowledging that he felt uncomfortable. He was understanding that not having a turn on the computer was bothering him and that he needed to do something about it, and he knew which choice he was going to choose. It would have been nice maybe for him to share what the memory was, just to help give you some more ideas about what that could be. And remember, it takes practice. So you could say to yourself, I'm going to use a happy memory, but unless you have that memory ready, it's going to be difficult maybe in the moment for you to execute that plan. Next example. So think about the same scenario. Fun Friday, you don't get a turn on the computer because there's already too many people. He gets that uncomfortable feeling. We've already talked about that. It's mad, anger, frustration. He gets up from his desk and he takes a Chromebook from the Chrome cart, even though it's not his turn and even though he wasn't given permission. The teacher notices this and he gets into trouble for getting out of his seat and getting a Chromebook without permission. So was this student being responsible? No. And we can talk about how many more consequences there are going to be because of those actions, right? So he did not deal with his uncomfortable feeling. He did not acknowledge that he had that uncomfortable feeling of not getting a turn and being mad, about not having the Chromebook. Maybe you could tell somebody at home what he should have done differently. All right. Hopefully, you said something like um, asking to talk to the teacher, letting the teacher know that he feels really bummed out that he didn't get a turn with the computer and that maybe he wants to work for that next week. And maybe the teacher could help him make a plan with earning Soaring Eagle so that he had a better chance at the Chromebook or something like that. That would be an example of talking it out. So, the whole idea here with this lesson is just to acknowledge your feelings, making sure you know those cues and triggers of when you start to feel uncomfortable. And remember, everybody is different. It's important to recognize that it's our responsibility to help ourselves feel better so that we can carry on with our day. If you think about those really hard days where we just can't get out of a funk, we don't get very much done. And it's hard for us to get along with each other and do the things that we need to. And so it's really important to be productive and to be a successful member of society and a successful member of your household to be able to get past the times that you are having a hard time. So make sure that you review and think about those three options, either talking it out, thinking those positive thoughts, those encouraging coaching moments, or having a happy memory. And we've talked about that those three options or options in any scenario might not work every single time. So there might be times where talking about it helps more than others, but there might be times where you'd rather just, sit at your desk or work through a problem while you're thinking about that happy memory, being able to do something with your grandparents or having a sleepover or something along those lines. So make sure that you think about those three options and how they best fit with you, and make sure you practice. So I am looking forward to hearing about your ideas and your examples and the ways that you have helped yourself feel better, especially while we're home. And like I mentioned earlier, things have changed. And I bet you have come into some obstacles and some challenges. And so I am happy to hear back from you about how you are doing and how you're helping yourself feel better during this time. Take care, you guys. We'll see you next week.